So I'm going to do a video on one of my favorite brands of fountain pens, and that's TWSBI. More specifically, I'm going to do a video about my Vac Mini, which I recently gave a bath, cleaned up, put a little bit of silicone grease on the section, and I'm going to re-ink it. What do I like about TWSBI? Well, they come in fun colors, interesting limited editions, and great demonstrators. Plus, well, this is a mini, but it's still a nice size pen. And each of them are probably what I would consider the best value for your dollar that you can probably get in many ways. So yeah, there are piston fillers and vac fillers, different things. There are even converters and cartridge fillers now with TWSBI. They come in every year. They seem to come out with a special edition color or two. They're really an interesting pen. They're also sort of one of the few pen brands that I can think of that actively encourages you to take the pen apart and tinker with it. It's designed for you to swap out nibs and parts if you need to. Apparently they have good customer service also. If you have a problem, they're very reliable. So yeah, first thing I'm going to show you is the box they come in. This is the typical TWSBI logo. Comes in a cardboard sleeve. You push it out. There's a nice hard-shelled plastic box. You open it up, and the first thing you'll see is you open it up. There's tools. They actually give you a tool to disassemble the pen. No other brand that I can think of does that. It's a really interesting idea. It also includes silicone grease for when you don't need to use this right away, but maybe someday if you find your pen leaking a bit, you might want to go in and grease around the threads on the section or on the piston, do things like that. It's all designed for people who don't mind trying things, really. They have these instructions showing you how to disassemble the piston feeds and and how to use silicone grease properly on the piston heads. That's one of the great things about TWSBI. It also comes with just a little bit of information regarding, I believe this is an instruction manual telling you how to do whatever you need, how to get the pen writing, soak up all excess ink on the feeder. Really interesting pen. The one I have right here are four. I have two TWSBI Echoes, Vac 700R Iris, and my Mini. There's probably in our household two more TWSBIs, both probably Echoes. The Echo is a great starter pen. It's simple to use. If you're a little uncertain about how to fill it, there's tons of videos online showing you how to fill a piston, how to fill an Echo. This is my workhorse one right here. It has platinum carbon black in it. I use it for signing envelopes, writing letters, writing out receipts, signing the back of paintings, drawing I use it for drawing, watercolor, all things like that. This is one I use for fun. It has a Noodler's Cinnamon in it. I love red inks. I've had a couple of different colors in it over the years, and the yellow, oddly enough, works with blue, and it works with reds, and it works with greens. It's a screw cap, demonstrator body. One of the fun things about Echoes, if you're thinking about getting a fountain pen for a younger person, is that they can sit there and as they're writing and thinking, they can see the ink sloshing around inside. It's just a lovely pen, really. I've never had a problem with it drying out. They write smoothly. They have Yowo nibs, which is a German manufacturer, very reliable. TWSBI is made in Taiwan. Build quality is very solid. The vacuum fillers have a few little tricks, but that make to help them write properly. But once you get the hang of it, you'll you know, they're simple to use. They're reliable. I'm going to fill this up now. I gave it a bath, but there's a little bit of water in there, but I'm not going to worry about that. When I got this one, my Mini, I had a 1.1 stub on it, and mostly because I hadn't tried a stub before. But with my, you know, I like to journal, I like writing letters and cards, so I put an extra fine on this actually, and I keep the stub. You know, it's great for cards and writing, signing my name, things like that. But yeah, so I'll just show you here. So the stub, whoops, that's the section. So when you're replacing that, this whole section here just unscrews, and then you might want to put a little silicone grease on the threads and screw it back, screw the new section in. If you ever damage the nib or something happens to it, you drop it and you break it, you can pick these up online, or you know, you might have a stationery store nearby that sells TWSBIs, so you can always find new nibs fairly inexpensively. Really nice feature. I will have to find the cap for that fell on the floor. I'll do that later. So anyway, oddly, even though it was a clear demonstrator and could go with almost any ink, the ink I really like in this one is Diamine Sherwood Green. I like green inks too. I like all color inks actually, except for grays. I have trouble with grays. Anyway, so what you do is you unscrew the knob at the end, loosens up, and then you pull out the piston, and it goes like that. So anyway, what you do is you push it back, you put the pen into the ink, you push it down, and it fills up, right? So you might want to give it a couple shots. We'll just clean it out again, try again. Yeah, so anyway, you can fuss around and get a full, that's a good amount of ink for now. If I wasn't online, I would, if I wasn't shooting a video, I'd take a little time and, there's a way of doing it where you turn it upright and you sort of pull the piston back and then push it slowly up. That could be fun, but I won't do it here. So anyway, now what I especially like about the Vac is its posts. It's designed to post. So the cap right back here, there's threads for the cap to go on. So when it just screws on, and it's so secure now, and I like that. The Echo's posts, that is designed to post. Sometimes they're a little loose, but I still post them. The Iris, the Vac 700R Iris doesn't post. It's isn't designed to. So I love posting pens. So the quick. And excuse my handwriting. God, I'm terrible at that. Anyway, so for longer writing sessions, when the piston knob is fully closed, the head of the rod right here closes up this section here. So there's a bit of ink in here always, and as you write, if this is fully closed, this eventually will run out and the pen will go dry. Some people think, well, that there's something wrong with my pen. But what you're supposed to do, you can do it for short sections, but when you store the pen or if you're traveling, you might want, you usually close the piston knob at the end. Now, for longer sections, you unscrew it. Not all the way, just enough. What happens is the head up here pulls back a little bit and ink is allowed into the feed. Right. And you'll be able to write and write and write. And it goes on. Oddly enough, that's actually yeah, I was going to say it's a dry writer, but actually it's, it's very nice. It's very nice. I love, it gives you a nice fluid line. It's I would say it's actually kind of wet, really. Kind of a wet pen, really. Extra fine, of course, on this one. I like fine. I like extra fine. I have a few mediums. I only have the 1.1 stub. I haven't tried any broads. I don't, I tend to like finer pens. I might try a broad sometime. Maybe next time I get a TWSBI, I might pick up a broad nib to try it out. I keep on thinking about, I do a list every now and then of pens I want. And the funny thing is I have a number of TWSBIs I still want, even though I have several. The Diamond 500 navy blue or something, that is something I'm quite interested in getting. And who knows what they're going to come up with this year. There might be some really nice new design or model that they've come up with that I'd like to try. I haven't tried the TWSBI Go or the TWSBI Swipe, even though I've heard good things about the Swipe. At first I was a little confused by TWSBI coming out with, say, a cartridge converter. It sounded so opposed to what they generally do, but I might try one sometime this year. But anyway, that's just my little introduction to the TWSBI Vac Mini. One of my favorite pens. It's a beautiful pen to look at. It's lovely pen to use. And if you're interested in getting a TWSBI, you might want to start off with an Echo and work your way up into a Mini or a Vac 700R, something like that. There's all sorts of levels for you to experience. So they're a great pen. I love them. Thank you very much. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this little video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. And if you're new here, I'd love it if you subscribe. You don't have to hit the notification bell. I find that kind of irritating myself. But anyway, so I hope you all have a great day. Thanks. Bye-bye.